a fresh wave of games is ready to define the year 2026. This selection focuses on the titles with the biggest scope, strongest concepts, and most anticipation. Across different genres and styles, these are the releases many players will be watching closely. Let's dive right into it.
An old soldier's pendant.
The Relic First Guardian is a third-person action RPG set in the ruined land of Arsiltis, where the last Guardian searches for relics that hold the memories and wishes of past people. Character growth comes from collecting relics that give passive effects and change how skills and weapons behave. Combat removes stamina costs from attacks, saving it for defense and dodging, while skills run on cooldowns. With unique gear, 5 weapon types, and over 70 bosses, players shape their own fighting style.
Though the steps never returned, their waiting became the wind that circles the hill. Only the pinwheel remembers the love of a family.
Noah, a Pacific submarine station has gone dark. Last report suggests miners dug too deep and may have uncovered something they weren't meant to find.
Cthulhu the Cosmic Abysses is a first-person investigative adventure set in 2053, where an occult agent named Noah is sent to a silent mining station deep in the Pacific Ocean. With the help of an AI companion, players search the sunken city of Relic, gather clues, and solve complex puzzles to uncover what happened. The story uses branching paths and choices that affect the outcome, while encounters with cosmic horrors slowly damage Noah's sanity.
Welcome to Pit Station, Noah.
What the hell happened here?
Bringing me to where you are.
What
All this
This is strange. It doesn't feel right.
You've been to the sea before? On Earth?
Pragmata is a science fiction action-adventure set in the near future, where astronaut Hugh and an android named Diana move through a damaged lunar research station. Players control Hugh while working with Diana to solve hacking challenges that affect combat and navigation. The game mixes shooting, movement, and puzzle-like hacking sequences, requiring both characters to act together to survive threats inside the facility and move deeper into the station.
Man, eat us again. I can't do anything.
Hello, unregistered guests. Your presence here is a violation of Cradle Security Protocol.
Tidewalker, it looks like you're headed for Market Land.
Tides of Tomorrow is a narrative adventure set on the ocean planet Elend, where players try to survive after a global flood and a spreading plastification threat. Players travel between floating platforms, gather resources, and interact with characters who can help or oppose them. The story changes based on decisions, alliances, and actions taken during the game. A shared system also lets the choices of friends or streamers influence events, forcing players to react to an unpredictable situation.
You're my ocean thief, huh? My guard said one of your lot was involved. Whether it's you or some other seaweed-brained idiot, I don't care. All that matters to me is how you're gonna pay me back.
inKONBINI One Store Many Stories is a third-person slice-of-life simulation set in a small-town convenience store, inspired by early 1990s Japan. Players control Makoto, a college student working summer shifts while handling simple tasks like stocking shelves, organizing displays, and ordering goods. Daily routines create a steady rhythm, while branching conversations with regular customers change relationships and reveal personal stories. Small choices during interactions affect how these stories develop over time.
Because northbound is backed up all the way to 18th Street, and the southbound ain't looking much better.
This is ridiculous.
Invincible VS is a 3v3 tag fighting game set in the Invincible universe, where players build a team of heroes and villains and switch between them during battles. Matches use fast combo systems, defensive moves, and powerful super attacks that can turn the fight. Players manage team order, assist attacks, and timing to control the pace of combat. The game includes story, arcade, training, and multiplayer modes for both competitive and casual matches.
I hoped you'd understand why I had to do this. Accept our rule, or die.
I'd like to propose a third option.
I'm not your son anymore.
I'm the guy who's going to throw you off this planet for good.
I trusted you!
Back off! Ready to bleed? This is over! Alright, coming through!
Let's do this!
Gotcha! Going up! Come here! Need a hand? Might want to look up!
I'm up! See how you like this?
It's an army!
I am ending you! I see it all now.
Do you feel it?
Control Resonant is an action RPG set in a distorted Manhattan, where players control Dylan Faden during a paranatural crisis. Combat mixes supernatural powers, environmental attacks, and a shape-shifting melee weapon that changes forms during fights. Players unlock and develop abilities through a progression system that shapes how Dylan handles different threats. The story follows his attempts to control his powers, face altered enemies, and uncover the forces changing reality across the city.
Of staggering power. Reshaping reality as we know it. Everything we try to keep inside eventually worms its way out. You must have had good reasons. But we were not prepared. For what would follow.
SHADOWMAN Dark Legacy is an action horror adventure where players control Jack Boniface, a young SHADOWMAN who can move between the realms of the living and the dead. Combat uses melee weapons, brutal finishers, and challenging enemy encounters against cultists and demonic creatures. Players switch between live side and dead side to solve environmental puzzles and reach new areas. An RPG-like progression system unlocks new skills and upgrades as Jack grows stronger. Mariachi Legends is a pixel art, combat-focused Metroidvania set in a Mexican town, where Detective Pablo Cruz gains the power to transform into La Sombra after making a deal with death. Players fight enemies using parries, finishers, and a mix of weapons like guns, swords, whips, and magic. New abilities unlock as the story progresses, while tarot cards and upgrades shape combat styles. A day, night, and full moon cycle changes areas, enemies, and paths across the dual map. Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Corps is a co-op first-person shooter roguelite where up to 4 players control elite dwarven reclaimers sent into dangerous mining facilities. Each mission begins with basic tools, and players collect random weapons, gear, and upgrades during the run to build powerful combinations. Procedurally generated caves change layouts and threats every time, while difficulty increases as the mission continues. Team coordination, shared builds, and permanent progression between runs shape long-term growth. Phantom Blade Zero is an action RPG where players control a warrior named Soul, who has 66 days to uncover the conspiracy behind his master's death. Combat uses fast martial arts techniques, with more than 30 weapons and over 20 phantom edges that change attacks and abilities. Defeated enemies can drop their signature weapons and techniques, expanding the player's options. Battles mix traditional swordplay with mechanical elements, creating a system built around speed, timing, and weapon combinations. Outward 2 is a challenging action RPG with survival mechanics where players control an ordinary adventurer who must manage hunger, thirst, exhaustion, and weather while traveling across dangerous lands. Combat depends on preparation, gear choices, and weapon combinations, with different movesets and equipment affecting speed and protection. Skills are learned from trainers, and players can mix up to 3 class paths to shape their style. Defeat carries lasting consequences, and both solo and co-op play are supported.
To us, immersion is much more compelling than empowerment. We let intensity be defined by the calm that came before. A time to ponder. What does it take to vanquish what is bigger and meaner than you? It's going to take everything you got.
Halloween is an asymmetrical multiplayer horror game set in Haddonfield on the night of Michael Myers' return. In 1v4 matches, one player controls Michael, using stealth, shadows, and special abilities to hunt residents, while others play as heroes who warn townsfolk, gather items, and plan escapes. Players can equip NPCs, call the police, and organize defenses to slow him down. A single-player mode also retells the events of that night from Michael's perspective. Avatar Legends, the fighting game, is a fast-paced 1v1 fighter where players control characters from the Avatar series in hand-drawn 2D matches. Combat uses a movement-focused flow system, support characters that grant extra moves, and combo mechanics built around timing and positioning. Players can practice in combo trials, play through a single-player campaign, or compete online with rollback netcode and crossplay. Different character abilities and support choices change how each fight plays out.
Every voyage begins with a plan.
Ahoy is a multiplayer naval game set in the late 18th century Caribbean, where players command ships as captains or officers alongside human and AI crew members. Gameplay includes sailing between ports, trading goods, managing crew duties, and taking part in large naval battles. Players must handle wind direction, ship controls, and combat tactics during encounters. Historical ship designs, crew coordination, and reputation systems shape progression and alliances across the Caribbean.
Death and dishonor, fame and fortune. The life of a sea captain is one of duty and relentless pursuit. True riches are not in gold and jewels, but in the stories we bring back and the legend we become. But never at our final destination. So we chart our next course. We sail. We fight. We endure. For the voyage is life. And life is the voyage.
Judas is a narrative first-person shooter set on a disintegrating starship where players control a mysterious character trying to survive a failing escape plan. Gameplay centers on forming or breaking alliances with hostile crew members, with decisions affecting how events unfold. Combat uses firearms and special abilities during encounters inside the ship. Player choices determine relationships, access to resources, and the path taken to repair the vessel or abandon it.
We both know the answer to that question. Nothing. You are the frog in a pot, boiling so slowly. You don't even know what's happening. But I'm here to set you free. Whether you like it or not.
He was trying to lure us into the house.
6 Days in Fallujah is a first-person tactical shooter based on real events from the Second Battle of Fallujah. Players lead an AI fire team or join up to 4-player co-op missions that require coordinated movement, breaching, and suppression tactics. Buildings and enemy positions change through procedural generation, forcing teams to adapt each time. Story missions recreate real operations, while additional procedural missions place squads in unpredictable urban combat situations.
I'm next. It's only natural for me to be next. Like, I hope it's quick. Hope it's painless. You start to like plan your own death.
Human Fall Flat 2 is a physics-based puzzle platformer where players control soft, clumsy characters through obstacle-filled levels. Each stage includes interactive objects, devices, and environmental puzzles that can be solved alone or with up to 8 players in co-op. The new physics engine adds more unpredictable movements and interactions, while updated mechanics and controls give players more ways to climb, push, carry, and experiment with objects to reach each goal.